Hi there, my name is the Stress Ball. If you're new here, my name is Rick and I'm a Happy Wheels author. I've been playing the game for over 4 years and I have quite a bit of experience in the game. So I wanted to make this tutorial to teach you how you can actually make a really good Happy Wheels level. Because I believe everyone is capable of making a good Happy Wheels level, and that's why I wanted to give some tips and tricks and some insights that I think are really important for making a good and appreciated Happy Wheels level. Let's go! To make the video a bit more organized and simple, I split it up in 4 main points. We've got the starting process, creativity, skill and marketing. If you're interested in one of these, then feel free to skip forward. We're gonna start off with the starting process. Now, if you start making a level straight off without any kind of idea, that's probably going to be very hard to do. If you're like me and you are often procrastinating or just having trouble with staying on a project, then these tips may help. So the first thing you want to make sure is just start off with having a general idea. I'm not saying you actually want to have your whole Happy Wheels idea in mind, just a general idea so that you can start working that out, making a bigger level when you're working on it, but just have a concept, have an idea of what you want to do. If you start building your level, it may be smart to start with the gameplay and then focus on the art, the mechanics, the triggers, that kind of stuff. So if you start focusing on the gameplay, you can test it easier. You don't have to change the art, you can just change the gameplay, the standard blocks. That way you can also test if your level's too hard. If your gameplay is good, your level's more fun. So make sure that your gameplay is good. So personally, this is the thing I would suggest with building a level. You would start with an idea, then you start with your skeleton and fix the gameplay, and then you go to the more advanced stuff. Next up we have creativity. If you have an idea or a level in general that you want to make, then I would recommend to not copy the raid list or the top played levels, but try to be original. If you look in the top list, there's a lot of levels out there that are named swords throw, that are named ball throws. Now these levels, don't get me wrong, they are fun to play, but if you want to make a really creative level that stands out, I don't think it's a smart idea to copy everyone else and go along with the big crowd. I mean, I'm not telling that you shouldn't make them. If you enjoy making a swords throw, feel free to make a swords throw. But I would prefer making something more creative. So try to look around you. Try to look at what interests you. Look around in your room. Most people have a room that really defines who they are, so they put up like art that interests them. I just picked a few examples of what I found in my room. For instance, I was doing something for school that had to do with the Incas, and in the process I found out that it really interested me. So you could make a level about the Incas. Here's some of my favorite games. That's maybe a subject to make a level about. That kind of stuff. It's all around you. If you really like to draw or write stories, then make sure to think about what stories do you write? What things do you like to draw? There's 2 ways to be creative with a level. One is by having a creative idea. So for instance, making a level about something that no one has done yet. But you can also make a level style, a level gameplay style that no one has invented yet. Next up is skill. You have a good start if you have an original level, if you planned it good, if you know what your level is about. But it's going to make a really big difference if you're actually good at something that has to do with level editing. You can be good at making art. Art really stands out. Art is what your level looks like. If your level has a really cool art style, it could be a new creative art style or just generally looking really good, really realistic, then that would be something that stands out for your level. So that's something to consider. You can also try to be really good at mechanics or triggers. Triggers have a lot to do with logical thinking and really thinking about problem solving. If you're good at that, making triggers and mechanics is a cool thing to do. If you're more of an artistic person and you like to draw, you like to sketch, you could try making good art. You can also combine them, of course. If you're really good at both, that would be ideal for a good Happy Wheels level. Of course, you don't have to be good at both of these, but it's always nice to add some art and some triggers. Okay, looking back at this step, so far we have done everything to make a good level. So these 3 steps were mainly on the level itself. Now we're going to go to step 4, which is marketing. So let's say you have a really good level, you publish it, but not a lot of people have played it, not a lot of people thought, wow, I'm gonna rate 5. Maybe there was something wrong with your way of marketing. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to improve this. First of all, your level name probably matters a lot. If your level name attracts people to click on it, you're gonna get more play count. So make sure to pick a name that stands out. If you press the spacebar a few times, your title is going to move to the side a bit so it stands out more. Make sure to not spam your title. You don't want some screamy title, but just something that stands out but is still simple. That's the best combination of a level title. If a lot of people start noticing your level, then a catchy author name would really help with getting your levels played more. Because if people start recognizing your author name, and if they think, hey, I've seen this guy, they are probably more likely to click on your levels. I don't know if this is a word, but most levels have a type of likability. How much people would like the level. There are a few aspects of this. For instance, your attitude in the level could actually make a difference. If you are kind of nice by, for instance, let's say at the end, hey, I hope you enjoyed my level, please leave a rating, that will come across more likable as when you would say, rate 5. If you would only say, hey, rate 5, that means, hey, cool you played my level and stuff, but please give me 5 stars, I really need it. You may want to come across as nice to the player, so you want to say, hey, thanks for playing my level, I appreciate it. If you like this level, then please give it a rating. You don't have to force the player to rate. If they like the level, they're gonna rate 5 stars anyway. Don't worry about that. Just remind the player that he can rate the level, and if you liked it, then he would probably rate 5. Second small thing that might make a difference, double check your grammar and your spelling. Some people might get annoyed if you make a few grammar mistakes. If you're not English or you struggle with writing correct English, I think English is the main language of Happy Wheels, so that's probably the language you want to stick to. You can also choose not to say anything at all in your level, maybe except for some social media links in your username. That's for you to decide, that's just a small tip. If your level's too hard or too long, people are probably going to die a lot on your level. That doesn't make the level really likable. People would probably rage quit, maybe they would rate 0. If you don't understand why some people rated 0, it could be because your level is too hard. So that's something to consider. Don't make it too easy, the level has to be a bit challenging, but try to decide on how hard and how easy your level has to be. So now we have the level making, the skill, the creativity, the marketing. That's all you need for making a good Happy Wheels level. If you want to learn something about the skill part, because that's probably the part that I can teach you most about. First of all, practice always works. If you practice, you get better. If you want to see my tutorials, I'll put the playlist in the description. Thanks for watching, I really hope I could help you. If you liked this video, please leave a like. If you're interested in my content, then please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.